Part 23. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 221. Chapter 221 Hot Search. Check someone, Ning Luo. In the following days, the popularity of Writer 11 has remained high. Ning Luo looked at a lot of articles praising 11 on the internet and was so angry that he dropped his computer. Damn, damn, damn. Oh, my little ancestor, why are you so excited? Lemon hugged the computer on the ground distressedly. This thing costs thousands. If the little ancestor doesn't want it, it's okay to give it to her. She has been on the hot search for so long, all of them are 11 11 11, my Ning Luo's name can't be seen at all, it's all submerged. It was agreed that it would be my home court, but what happened? You invited an 11 to come over and ruin the place. Ning Luo was almost in tears. Lemon is also feeling quite tired. She is just a small editor and has no control over the affairs of the higher UPS. The higher UPS have to invite 11, and there is nothing she can do to prevent them from coming, right? It should be said that Ning Luo is not capable. If she was capable and could compare with Ning Luo, would there be any need to get angry with her here now? Okay, little ancestor, you need to calm down first, why don't you let me find a solution for you? Lemon's head hurt a little. Ning Luo looked at Meng Meng and said, then you quickly think of a way and arrange a wave of trolls to help me get the rhythm up. You don't have to worry about the cost. It's all mine. In short, we must turn this hot search into a black hot search. Okay, little ancestor, please drink a glass of water to relieve your anger, Lemon sighed. Then he went over and did it obediently. On the internet, after 11's fans speculated on Amway's own writers and 11's works, a wave of blackmail suddenly appeared. He's just a writer, and he still buys hot searches, how shameless. It's been 2 days since I bought it, can I stop buying it? Are you tired? I'm tired of reading it every time I click on the hot search, it's her. Who is she? I don't know you at all. I don't want to look at her at all. You want to look like a human and still wear a mask. I advise fans of 11 to take off their fans as soon as possible, there's no telling what they'll look like behind the mask. Kuriko's voice directly stimulates 11's fans. Whose naval force did I say it was? It turned out to be from the Ning Luo family. You can't be the right person for yourself, but you still blame the right person of others. Do you want to be shameless? Ning Luo fans, please save some face, your master is a waste, but you can't stop others from being good. Ning Luo, isn't Ning Luo the vase that copied wrong gang? Obviously I bought it for 11 for hot search, but inexplicably, 11's fans brought it to the attention of Ning Luo's plagiarism from Ranga. What, Ning Luo plagiarized? Who is Ning Luo? I hate people who plagiarize the most. Do you have a color palette? Yes, come and take a look, it's been done a long time ago, but people are too confused, so no one knows about it, and they don't know what's wrong today. Fans keep trying to provoke the 11 gods, it's disgusting. After someone originally adjusted the color palette, Ning Luo successfully became a hot search. However, the hot searches were all plagiarized by the name Ning Luo Ranga. Hand in place for a dark hot search. In other words, Ning Luo not only spent money to buy himself gas, but also spent money to buy himself a hot search. If this matter becomes a big deal, it may have an impact on his future career. What's going on? Didn't I ask you to buy the 11th Navy? What's going on now? Ning Luo was so angry when she woke up and saw her hot search. She looked at Lemon, and the anger in her heart reached its peak. Lemon, do you know how to do anything? Here, I did buy 11's Blackwater Army, but who knew her fans would bring the rhythm directly to you? Is it her fault? She was just doing what she was told. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 222. Chapter 222 The Future of the Online Literary World. Okay, you go back, I'll take care of the rest myself. Ning Luo waved his hand to Meng irritably. He was really a guy who failed to achieve anything but failed. Lemon glanced at Ning Luo worriedly. How do you plan to solve it? You don't need to take care of this matter. Ning Luo was a little irritated. Ning Luo, don't do anything outrageous, you know. Lemon was a little worried. Looking at Ning Luo, she always felt a little uneasy. Ning Luo had no patience anymore and pushed Lemon out of the door. I know, you can go back. Lemon was rejected, pursed his lips, shook his head and left. In fact, she dug Ning Luo, so she put a lot of emotion into it. It's just that at the beginning, Ning Luo was actually quite humble and willing to learn anything. Later, after making money, he started to feel confident. She also knew about the plagiarism mentioned on the internet. When Ning Luo first started writing, she asked Ning Luo to learn how other people wrote well, but she did not expect that she would choose to plagiarize. She happened to have never read the book she copied, so she didn't discover it. After discovering it, it was already too late. Later on, she could only find a way to get Ning Luo to put more thought into the new book and recruit a group of die-hard fans for her. Only then did Ning Luo gain a foothold in the online literary world. But I didn't expect that this matter would be revealed by 11 fans again. It can be said that if Ning Luo didn't make this incident today, maybe these things would just remain in the dust. It's a pity that Ning Luo, if you have to do it on the 11th, no, you won't do it, but you will put yourself in a dangerous situation. Hello, just when Lemon felt sorry for Ning Luo, he suddenly received a call from the company. Boss asked you to come and tell you something. Whatever happened, it was naturally Ning Luo's business. Lemon sighed, okay, I'll be there right away. This time, I'm afraid it will really not end well. What's going on with Ning Luo? Boss, this kid Ning Luo has good intentions. It's all me. When I asked her to learn how to write popular novels, she didn't grasp it. It was also my dereliction of duty and I didn't take care of it properly. But I didn't give her any recommendations for that book later, and it's not very popular now. All the books written by Ning Luo after that were not plagiarized. It's not plagiarism, is it a joke? Denyu looked at Lemon and sneered. Lemon pursed her lips. It's hard to say that Rongan is a thing, but Ning Luo is just a marginal one. She also tacitly agreed. To say that Rongan can't reach that level, it's just hovering on the edge. This. You can explain this to me later. What you want to explain now is the #1 hot search topic. Denyu's tone was quite cold. Lemon was stunned for a moment. The most popular search. Isn't 11 the #1 most searched item? Why does it sound like the boss is not very satisfied with that hot search? Take a look. Denyudeo. Lemon took out her phone and took a look. At this glance, Lemon's heart almost jumped out of her chest. Ning Luo hired someone to attack 11? What is this together? Thinking of the look in the little ancestor's eyes when he pushed her out of the door, Lemon felt that the whole person was not very good. Did the little ancestor really do something unforgivable? Don't worry, it's not done, but there will be a lawsuit. Denyu looked at Lemon and continued, I thought you were experienced, but I didn't expect you to be so stupid and let a silver medal in your hands go to fight. Our golden signature. Do you know what 11 means? She means money, traffic, and the future of the online literary world. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 223. Chapter 223, right. Denyu glanced at Lemon and finally said, I'll leave this matter to you to resolve. If it's not resolved within 3 days, I will issue an announcement. From now on, Ning Luo will no longer be allowed to enter the online literature industry. This ban. Boss. Lemon stared at Deng Yu with wide eyes. It took Ning Luo 3 years to finally get up. Can you be more tolerant? Tolerance, Deng Yu smiled. When you said this to me, did you ever think about being tolerant? I know what happened between you and Butterfly. It's not just that when you see others doing better and better, you start to be afraid that Butterfly will surpass you. However, Lemon, you also need to know that I am running a company, and what I look at is business value. I will not allow anyone to do anything that destroys business value. Ning Luo's current achievements are already pretty good. If she is still not satisfied, she can continue to work her own. But what she did wrong most was to try to improve herself by taking down Shi. 11 is our golden sign. Ning Luo can't make back her money in a whole year. Deng Yu rolled his sleeves and said, go away. Instead of begging me here, it's better to go back early and find a way to see if Ning Luo apologizes in person or something. Boss. Lemon looked at the man, pursed his lips, and then silently withdrew. Little ancestor, I've solved it, are you satisfied? After Lemon left, Deng Yu changed his previous attitude and said softly to the door. The door opened and a girl came out. If Lemon were still here, he would definitely find out that this girl is Feng Ling. The 11 they are looking for. Feng Ling raised her eyebrows. Not bad. Little ancestor, Ning Luo has found someone to kill you, why don't you let me fire her? And that Lemon, he looks like he has bad character at first glance. How can we leave such a scourge in our company? Young man, don't be anxious, Feng Ling said slowly, isn't it time yet? Since Ning Luo cares about her reputation so much, I will let her be ruined step by step at the highest point. Sometimes, struggling looks better than being beaten to death with a hammer. Feng Ling smiled quite sinisterly. She is usually quite easy to talk to, but some people just don't want to talk to her, so she has no choice but to treat them the same way they treat them. Hope that Ning Luo's little heart will not be too fragile, otherwise, she is really afraid that Ning Luo will be dead before she even starts to contribute. Deng Yu trembled. His eyes changed when he looked at Feng Ling. The little ancestor became cruel. It was really inhumane. However, it was Ning Luo who deserved it. Who told her to go against her little ancestor? Although he started this company, the largest shareholder is Xiaozu. Ning Luo directly went to his little ancestor. Was he risking his life? Ning Luo's money-making platform is all provided by Xiaozu Zhang, right? However, Ning Luo doesn't know all this. She only knows that now, as long as she solves 11, then everything will be fine, so she must find 11's information. Only in this way can everyone see the true face of 11. Ning Luo still believes that Shi Yi is just an ugly girl with no great status and can only type 2 characters. If she knew that Feng Ling was the company's biggest boss behind the scenes, it would be impossible to fight with Feng Ling even if Ning Luo was killed. Isn't this just asking for death? It's a pity that Ning Luo doesn't know anything now and just wants to make Feng Ling suffer a bad death. Check it out for me, send me the basic information of 11, and then help me find the background of 11. Okay, the person on the other side paused, but... End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 224. Chapter 224 Joke. She wants my information. Feng Ling was lying on the leather sofa, holding her mobile phone in her hand. She was playing a game on it. When she spoke, she had just completed 5 kills. Yes, shall we? If she wants to, just throw my information to her, Feng Ling smiled. Aren't you afraid of exposing your identity? Yao Lang was a little surprised. Didn't Feng Ling desperately want to hide his identity before? Exposed or something? Feng Ling rubbed her head. I was afraid of trouble before, but if I don't expose her, there will be continuous trouble, so it's better to solve it once and for all. Go. Understood. The demon wolf nodded, indicating that he understood. If Feng Ling said so, then the news exposed to Ning Luo Feng Ling seems to be good. It's just that he has to think carefully about how to expose it. After all, the method of exposure also has its own particular requirements. Hey, why are there so many things in this world? Feng Ling sighed. The demon wolf, Den Yu. Is this the world of the boss? Big bosses are generally afraid of trouble, but big guys solve troubles as if they are not troubles at all. Murderer. After Ning Luo got the news from Feng Ling, the smile on his face finally became much brighter. I just said, this 11 is definitely not a good thing. Haha, a murderer, I don't see how she can still quibble. She was just plagiarizing Ranga, but Feng Ling was breaking the law. Comparatively speaking, she is nothing. If this is exposed, I believe everyone will focus on Feng Ling. As long as this period of time passes, no one will remember her. Ning Luo had never been so happy, as if he had already seen the day when Shi Yi fell. She took out her mobile phone and posted a Weibo message. Lemon was about to find her and had already arrived at Ning Luo's house. After seeing Ning Luo's Weibo, she was so popular that she almost fainted. Ning Luo, she actually admitted that she plagiarized Ranga and also released information about Shi. Den Yu was already dissatisfied with Ning Luo for almost destroying their golden sign. Now that the information about the National Day has been released, how can they maintain this golden sign? Ning Luo is using his future to fight against 11. Ning Luo has been releasing the news for a long time, but no matter how you look at it, there are no hot searches. Ning Luo felt something was wrong, so he took a look at the comments below. You don't know if you don't look at it, but Ning Luo almost fainted when he saw it. What's going on? Are you slapping fans in the face? Ha ha ha. Ning Luo actually admitted that she had plagiarized wrong. I was so shocked. Is she so stupid? You're so stupid, otherwise, how could you not know that after finding the information on 11, you didn't know that it had been cleared out a few months ago? This person is not a 11 killer at all, okay. Drunk. Don't tell me, I really can't imagine that Shi is that Feng Ling. 3 years ago, how old was she 3 years ago? She was only 15 years old. What was I doing when I was 15? Oh my god, I'm just 5 in comparison. Big boss, I'm so sorry. Ning Luo, please just get out of the internet. This is the first time I've seen such a disgusting woman. Ning Luo looked at the comments on the phone and was stunned. What together? Feng Ling didn't kill her parents. So it was her sister who killed her, and the verdict was passed a few months ago. Then why didn't that person tell her? How could that person not tell her such important news? Ning Luo's face turned pale. It was over. It was all over. Now, everything was over. Ning Luo, open the door. Ning Luo Lemon knocked on the door, but there was no movement inside, which made her worried. Finally, after a few minutes, the door opened. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 225. Chapter 225 Letter. After seeing Ning Luo's face, Lemon probably knew that Ning Luo must have made a mistake. She sighed and said, Ning Luo, I told you that some things can't be rushed. This world is not as easy as you think. The way you are now disappoints not only your fans, but also the company. Do you know that you have not only offended 11, but also your boss? You know that your boss no longer allows you to write novels on the internet. Ning Luo, you have ruined your career. Lemon said disappointedly. Ning Luo looked at Lemon blankly. I didn't want to do this. Lemon, please save me. Talk to the boss again and give me a chance. I know I was wrong. I will withdraw from Weibo right now. Sorry, Lemon, I know nothing but novels now, I can't live without novels. She made money from reading novels, so she didn't go to college, and she didn't take the certificate exam. If she can't continue writing now, what will she do in the future? Ning Luo was completely panicked. Lemon shook his head helplessly. Ning Luo, I can't help it. This is what the higher UPS want. Maybe if you go and ask Feng Ling, you still have a chance. Begging her, I can't possibly beg her. Lemon, you also know that she and I are completely at loggerheads. It is impossible for me to beg her, and it is impossible for her to forgive me. Ning Luo looked at Lemon imploringly, trying to get help from Lemon, but no matter what, she didn't see the looseness in Lemon's eyes. Ning Luo, do you know, because of you, my position as editor-in-chief is not guaranteed and I will probably lose my position to editor-in-chief. I have the same status as Butterfly. Maybe Butterfly will have a higher status than me after this incident. How can I protect you when the time comes? Ning Luo, ask yourself, I have done enough to you, I have brought you to this position, as long as you listen to me and continue, then everything will be fine. Ning Luo, you are greedy and your heart is not enough for a snake to swallow an elephant. People's hearts are not as good as snakes swallowing elephants, but who encouraged me to remove Feng Ling from power at that time? Lemon, don't act like you are very clean. I have indeed been listening to you. I just listen to you too much, so I am like this. However, I don't blame you, because it's really me who wants La Feng Ling to step down, because I am the best one, and I am the one who wants to bring the highest interest to the company. Lemon, I won't give up. What do you want to do? Lemon looked at Ning Luo, feeling a little uneasy. Ning Luo smiled and said, that's my own business. I don't need to worry about the next thing. I don't think you want to. Believe me, you will not want to continue to be like-minded with me. Ning Luo. Lemon was pushed out of the door by Ning Luo again. The sound of closing the door sounded, and the world finally became quiet. Lemon looked at the closed door and sighed. Ning Luo was indeed right. She was unwilling to continue. People tend to avoid risks. As she continued to follow Ning Luo, she could no longer see the future. It's just. After all, he had taken care of the child for so long. Lemon wrote a note at the door and left. Lemon didn't know that a few minutes after she left, the door was opened, and Ning Luo looked at the paper at the door with dark eyes. Ning Luo, I did make a mistake. I shouldn't have led you to meet Feng Ling. Now it's a done deal and I can't do anything about it. But you still have great years and many possibilities. Don't let your imagination run wild. I'll be stable in the future. As long as you want, I will take you. Lemon stay. Ning Luo looked at the letter and sneered. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 226. Chapter 226. There are not many good people. Look back. Oh, there's no going back, there's no going back. Ning Luo closed her eyes, then opened them, as if she had decided something. However, what Ning Luo didn't expect was that before she started taking action, the person she contacted before had already found her and tied her to a deserted field. Let me go, what on earth are you going to do? Ning Luo began to panic. But this man did not waver at all. You use people's money to do things for others, but if you want to blame them, it's because you provoked the people you shouldn't have provoked. The man looked at her coldly. In my heart, I feel disgusted with Ning Luo. He has been traveling around the world for so many years, but he has never taken on such a difficult job as Ning Luo. To be honest, that person named Feng Ling is not an ordinary person at all. Ning Luo wants to deal with her, it's just a fantasy. Is it Feng Ling, Did Feng Ling ask you to deal with me? Although the man didn't answer her, Ning Luo basically already knew. Just because he knew it, Ning Luo hated Feng Ling even more. You call her out, I want to see her, she can't do this to me, she is breaking the law. Breaking the law. A familiar laugh came out. Ning Luo looked over, wasn't that person Feng Ling whom she had always been thinking about? The girl was wearing a red dress, which looked extremely noble. She knew that dress. It was limited to a well-known brand and was worth 50 million. It was beyond her imagination. Ning Luo's face turned pale instantly. She suddenly realized that she seemed to have offended someone she shouldn't have. You. I'm just an ordinary student. Feng Ling tilted her head. Ning Luo pursed her lips. Who would believe what Feng Ling said? But you want to kill me, right, Ning Luo? I didn't. Ning Luo was subconsciously denying it now. She would never have done such a thing before. Feng Ling smiled, as if he didn't care, and seemed to have expected it. She said no, so you lied. Feng Ling looked at the man. The man panicked instantly. He was not an idiot like Ning Luo. He knew how terrifying this woman was. So the man took out all the evidence on his body in order to prove that Ning Luo instigated all of this. These are recordings of calls between me and Ning Luo. I record them in order to prevent someone from not paying her after doing things for her. Ning Luo, I just use the money to do things. Now the money you give is different from the difficulty of the task, so don't try to drag me into this. This is all a matter between the two of you. It is my fault that I took this order, but I will not bear the blame for you. That is not mine. Feng Ling raised her eyebrows. What can I say? This man is quite good at talking. However, she really didn't want to embarrass him too much, she just wanted to make him scared and not accept any orders from now on. After all, she understands that everyone in this world needs to eat. Give me the recorder. Don't accept any orders from now on. If you let me know that you have accepted orders from an unforgivable person, your brother's life will be gone. Feng Ling didn't know when a knife appeared in her hand. She put it in her hand and turned it around, then it fell somewhere on the man's body. The man's whole body tensed up for no reason, and he looked at her nervously. No, 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 there will be no next time. I will be a good person, and I won't accept bad orders no matter how much money I give. Yeah, Feng Ling nodded, showing a childish expression. Actually, I don't ask you to be a good person after all, there are really not many good people in this world. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 227. Chapter 227. Dad. I just want you to take a look at it and analyze it when you take the order in the future, do you understand? Yeah, I understand, I know what to do, the man nodded quickly. Feng Ling waved her hand, okay, you can just go and stay for a while. Seeing that Feng Ling seemed to be planning to let him go, the man finally breathed a sigh of relief. Ning Luo looked at Feng Ling here, with a somewhat horrified look on his face. Feng Ling, you can't do anything to me. You've already committed murder and committed crimes. Don't you know? Who told you that I wanted to kill you? Feng Ling frowned, how could I do such a thing? Hearing Feng Ling say not to kill her, Ning Luo breathed a sigh of relief, thinking that as long as she could escape alive, she would definitely give Feng Ling a bad death in the future. But, the next second, Ning Luo couldn't be happy anymore. Because Feng Ling took out a bottle of medicine and said, take it. What is this? Ning Luo looked at the girl in front of him nervously. Feng Ling is only 18 years old, but the current Feng Ling scares Ning Luo, deep in his heart. Eat it, and you will become dementia from now on, Feng Ling said lightly, as if this matter did not affect her emotions at all. Ning Luo looked at Feng Ling in horror, I won't eat. You can't do this to me. You have no qualifications. You don't want to eat, Feng Ling smiled. She squatted down and looked at Ning Luo's little face. Ning Luo, do you know? When you chose to kill me, you didn't give me a choice. So do you think I need to hear if you want to eat it now? Brush. In an instant, Ning Luo's face turned pale. What Feng Ling said made sense. She knew very well that if Feng Ling was not Feng Ling and was really just an ordinary girl, she might be gone by now. When she chose to let the man kill Feng Ling, she did not give Feng Ling any choice. Now, it seems very ridiculous for her to say that she doesn't want to take medicine. Please, Feng Ling, give me a chance. I was wrong, I was really wrong, Before Ning Luo could finish speaking, he felt something more in his throat. He looked over and saw in Feng Ling's hand the bottle is empty. She stared at Feng Ling with wide eyes, but before she could speak, her eyes began to wander, and then became dull. The man saw with his own eyes that a girl turned into a fool who could only drool and couldn't even speak in a minute. He felt that his whole body's blood had turned cold. Devil. This girl is a devil. He wants to escape very much, very much. Did you see it? Feng Ling's voice suddenly sounded, and he took out a bottle of medicine from the other pocket. Don't be nervous, I'm not that indiscriminate in killing innocent people. This is a medicine to make you forget this incident. If you take it, you will not remember seeing us in the future. The best of both worlds, I won't lie. To eat or not to eat is up to you. As soon as he finished speaking, the man felt something cold on his neck, and Dongzi appeared behind the man with a sword. If you don't eat, then. The man wants to cry but has no tears. Does this mean he still has a choice? Anyway, Feng Ling didn't give the man a choice. He ate it and fainted. Feng Ling asked Shishaliu to send the man back to his original place. There are white and black in this world, and she is not so kind-hearted. It is okay to kill the man. It is just the children in the man's family that make her feel compassion. That child only has a father, a man. If the father is gone, then. But fortunately, according to her investigation, men actually have a bottom line. The reason why they made a mistake this time was because the information was wrong. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 228. Chapter 228 Spreading Dog Food. After handling the man's affairs, Feng Ling looked at Dongxia and said, if you have any questions, just ask. She could see Dongxia's shock, but because Dongxia belonged to Ye King Han, her identity would have to be revealed to Dongxia and the others sooner or later, so she simply took this opportunity to have a complete showdown with Dongxia. This way, it also prevents him from thinking blindly. Moreover, Dongxi is the most reliable among the four people. This is why Feng Ling chose to be the first to reveal the truth to Dongxi. Dongxi pursed his lips and said, Miss Feng, can I ask? They are secret guards, and they are not allowed to interfere with their master's affairs, because this is considered to be out of bounds in their position. It's okay. You have to know sooner or later. You only have one chance. After asking, I won't tell you the rest. If you want to know again, you can only ask your master, or you can explore on your own. Dongxi smiled sarcastically and asked the Lord, why not kill him? The Lord hates it when they cross the line, especially when it comes to Feng Ling. But he was indeed curious about Feng Ling. Miss Feng, I would like to ask if you have any other identity besides Feng Ling. He didn't follow Feng Ling for a long time, but he always felt that Feng Ling was no stranger to them. In other words, Feng Ling knows about people with special abilities, but it is impossible for ordinary people to know about people with special abilities. So, he boldly guessed that Miss Feng is actually also a person with special abilities. Feng Ling curled her lips and said, you are very smart. I also have another identity, the founder of FL Research Institute, Zero, the brain in the alliance. Maybe we have met before. She remembered Dongxia. When she was captured by Ye King Han and taken to the Blood Evil Alliance, both Dong Xie and 11 Du were in the punishment room. Dong Xie suddenly remembered it when Feng Ling mentioned it, but he felt embarrassed immediately after. Because things did not seem very friendly at first. Moreover, Miss Feng almost got the master. The Lord was not in a good mood for the next few months because of this. It is a miracle that Miss Feng can walk with the Lord now. However, for Miss Feng, the injury that time was not serious. Can she really let go of everything and be with the Lord sincerely? Dong Xie felt that it was not easy for him to ask this question. After all, he was just a secret guard, and he should not interfere with other people's emotional issues no matter what questions he asked. What's more, when this question is asked, it should be questioned. However, what Dong Xie didn't expect was that Feng Ling explained his problem directly. I know you must be wondering whether Ye King Han and I are sincere when we are together. Don't worry, I won't wrong myself. If I didn't like Ye King Han, I wouldn't have agreed. At the beginning, if it weren't for the fact that I was really interested in Ye King Han, that man, I wouldn't have agreed to give him a try. Dong Xie twitched his lips. It turned out that it was Miss Feng that the Lord was pursuing. Moreover, judging from Miss Feng's tone, it seemed that she had not officially succeeded in pursuing her yet. Feng Ling didn't know what was going on in Dong Xie's mind. She continued, when I was caught by Ye King Han, I was really unconvinced, so later I fought back. Logically speaking, I am not at a loss. In other words, Ye King Han, how long did King Han repair his brother? Feng Ling asked back, her eyes shining brightly. Dongzi twitched his mouth. Is this question allowed to be asked? However, when Feng Ling asked, he was too embarrassed not to answer. About half a month. That's about the same time as when I was lying in the hospital. It's fine now. Feng Ling nodded with satisfaction. Hey, don't talk to Ye King Han about today, otherwise I won't have an excuse to fight with him if I'm in a bad mood. Dongzi, yes, Miss Feng. Miss Feng Ling, even though he is single, you don't have to be such a jerk. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 229. Chapter 229 Spring Water. The second day after Feng Ling returned to school, another accident occurred at Lingyang High School. A student suddenly jumped from a building. When the police arrived, the girl's face was ashen and scary. When Feng Ling arrived, the student had already been sent away, but Wang Haihong secretly took a photo of Feng Ling. Judging from the photo, she did not die accidentally. Feng Ling looked at the girl's face. There are some things I can't tell you, but I can only tell you that maybe someone is eyeing someone from this school, or, it should be a feeling in the dark. Feng Ling always felt that this matter had something to do with her. I will find out, but during this period, I will not stay in school. I will withdraw from school. Why? Wang Haihong still couldn't understand. You said it had something to do with you, but if it had something to do with you, there would be no need for them to harm two innocent girls. You don't understand, they will, and if you don't dig them up, I can't guarantee that no one else will be hurt in the future. Feng Ling looked at Wang Haihong and sighed. Maybe you can let them listen to the lecture for a while time. During this period, let them study through online classes. I will arrange for someone to give them lessons. Okay, Wang Haihong agreed immediately. He knew very well that the person Feng Ling arranged was several levels higher than their current teacher. In this way, the effect of online classes will not be worse than attending school. I will bear all the pressure, and I will leave the rest to you. Wang Haihong looked at Feng Ling solemnly. He is a teacher, so he attaches great importance to the life of every student. Now 2 children have died. For Wang Haihong, it is also a very heartbreaking thing. Now, the children's parents have called him several times, hoping that he can fully cooperate with the police to find the murderer. But seeing Fen Ling like this, Wang Haihong knew that maybe it would not be easy to find the murderer. Well, thank you. Fen Ling bowed to Wang Haihong, then turned and left. She will definitely find the murderer and let him be punished by law. 15 or 16, have you noticed anything unusual at Lingyang High School recently? No. 15-6 looked at each other and replied. 15 frowned, although I say not, we always feel that something is not right about the air recently. 16 nodded and continued to add, yes, the air lately feels sweet. Sweet. Fen Ling opened her mouth and took a deep breath, her eyes were puzzled. She didn't feel any sweet feeling. 15 explained, Miss Fen, our special ability is the five senses. So we are all sensitive to things that you can't see or taste. Wherever you feel it, I want you to feel it most deeply. Fen Ling's expression became serious. 16 pointed in the direction. Fen Ling looked over, it was the direction of the previous incident. Let's go over and have a look. Yes. 15-6 replied. The three people walked to the woods before. Everything inside seemed to be the same as usual, but Fen Ling could already feel an unusual smell inside. She immediately asked 15 and 16 to step back, and stood alone, with a white light suddenly appearing in his hand. That is one of her special abilities. Her auxiliary ability is different from others. It can not only assist others, but also help her improve her five senses. With the help of white light, she successfully felt the difference in the spring water in the grove. This spring has been drugged. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 230. Chapter 230. Something bad happened. Because the spring water is always flowing and leads to the direction of the teaching building, students can smell it when they go to and from school. But why only these two people were killed requires further investigation. Come with me to monitor the school. Yes. 15-6 nodded. Fen Ling pursed her lips and said, you should go to a dark place first so that no one can see you. At this juncture, if there is one less thing to do, then there will be one less thing to do. 15 and 16 looked at each other and understood Fen Ling's thoughts, and disappeared in an instant. Fen Ling nodded with satisfaction. As expected of Ye King Han, he was very capable. Is that Fen Ling? Yes, Princess Linlin. The two girls replied in unison. Linda transferred here recently. She had been studying abroad before and was the school beauty of her previous school. However, after Linda transferred here, she suddenly discovered that the original school beauty of this school was even more beautiful than her. This made Linda very unhappy. In her mind, mixed-race girls must be prettier than non-engaged girls. How could there be a girl more beautiful than her? So she came here specifically to take a look today, but she didn't expect that she happened to see Fen Ling and two strange men in the woods. She didn't know what they were doing. She also heard what they said about the grove. It was a place where only male and female friends would stay. Most students would not run into the grove for nothing. So Linda subconsciously thought that Fen Ling was doing something bad with those two men. This Fen Ling, isn't she a social girl? Linda frowned. Her two little followers shook their heads. I'm not sure, but Fen Ling's reputation in school wasn't very good before. Everyone said she liked to bully others, had a bad temper, and often didn't come to class. But later, because the previous case against her was reversed, no one discussed it anymore. We are not in the same class as her, so we don't know exactly what she looks like. Hearing the words of the two little followers, Linda was even more sure that Fen Ling was a thorough social girl. Okay, I get it. Have you taken the photo? Made a bid. Very good, let's go now without being discovered. Linda smiled. With the photo, she saw how this Fen Ling could still be a school beauty. Fen Ling saw on the surveillance camera that both girls tasted the water in the spring with their hands. Limo said that it is because the spring water has become particularly clear recently, so everyone likes to play there. The two girls may have been curious about the taste, but they didn't expect that they would kill themselves after tasting it. Fenling pursed her lips. Just when he was about to say something, Dongzi suddenly appeared, placing the phone screen in front of Fenling. "Miss Feng, someone took a photo of you and Shishaliu." There was a flash of annoyance in Dongzi's eyes when he said that. He suddenly had something to do today, so he didn't follow. He thought that he would just follow him at 15 or 16. Unexpectedly, this happened, just when Fenling was checking things. "Have you found out who sent it?" When Fenling saw the photo, her whole body was as cold as an ice cube. It's not that she was angry that someone photographed her and 15-16 together and then discredited their innocence, it was because at this time, it was best to investigate in secret. Those people knew that she was checking, but they didn't know the progress. But this photo directly told the people behind the scenes that she had found the spring water. In the future, more people may. When she thought of this, Fenling became extremely angry. Dongzi nodded. "I found it. It's Linda from class 6, grade 3, a recent transfer student. She's a mixed race. The one who took the photo was her little follower. Miss Feng, do you want to deal with it?" Dongzi's thinking was cultivated in the Blood Evil Alliance. End of this chapter.